Okay, let's talk about business growth and content. So for 2022, I think you need to have a think about where do you want the business to look, or how do you want the business to look at the end of 2022. So a year from now, in 2023, on the 10th, you can look back and you go, okay, these are the decisions that I made at the start of the year. These are the decisions that worked. These are the decisions that didn't work. And out of those, this is what I want to implement more in 2023. So what could some of those decisions be? So obviously, you need to be tracking your finances, both personal and business-wise. You should be tracking your finances. It is like a game changer. I would argue that tracking finances is actually more important than taking on more clients. Like, you can take on more clients all the time, but if you don't track finances, it makes no difference. You're still going to be skin and poor because you don't know where your money is, right? So tracking finances absolutely major for 2022 if you want a change in life, if you want a change in how this is going to look. The next one is content. Let's talk about content. Like, we talked about content before, about burning out in one of the previous sections, and I'm very aware that by putting out too much content or having to do, Monday, Friday, 12 o'clock, you can put out a lot of content, but boy, you're going to get burnt out having to come up with new content ideas all the time. That can get really tiring. I've done it for 5 years. I can tell you it gets tiring and you burn yourself out. And you end up going loads of content, zero content. Loads of content, zero content. And what you actually want is a middle ground where you've got regular content all the way through the year. So like for us with the podcasts, season 7, episode 1. By the way, this is not our 7th season. So this is actually our 6th season. But because we've done 617 podcasts, I'm like, that's just going to confuse the hell out of me. And what do? Have a season 6? Episode 1, even though we've done 617 podcasts. So I was like, let's just call it season 7, even though we're in season 6. So it's a bit confusing. But anyway, I'm sure I'll forget. I'm sure I will just fake myself into thinking it's season 7, even though it's season 6. Anyway, but with that, I'm like, as a minimum, let's do one a week. And I can do one a week. We went live at 8:30 in the morning this morning. I can do that. I don't have to wait till 12 o'clock every single day and go live having to think up new things Monday through Friday. It's so tiring. But if I want to go live 18 times that week because I've got something I want to share and something I want to say, I can do. And so I'm not limited to 12 noon Monday to Friday. But also if I don't want to do it, if I want to go live just on a Thursday, 4:30 in the afternoon, and I want to do that, I can do that. And so I'm not tying myself down, which is, I think, will work better from the motivation side that we just talked about as well. But for you, if you've not gone live yet, your plan should be to go live once a month and do a podcast once a month. And if you're going to do podcasting, you don't want to do it live, just you and a microphone. Heck, you can even do it. I mean, I've done podcasts using this plugged into my phone, where, I'm just speaking into my phone and it's a voice recording. That can go out as a podcast, as an audio podcast. And so that works very well as well. I think if you've not done that yet, 2022, you should have a podcast. The uplift to that is to go live on YouTube, and then you pull out the MP3, and then you've got the YouTube video, plus you've got the MP3, which goes up to iTunes and so on. If you don't know how to do that, come and sign up with us, and we include that in our content management system. But that's what you should be doing. What happens with podcasting is that people listen to it. And you don't have any clue who these people are. When I listen to a Grant Cardone podcast, Grant Cardone doesn't know it's me. But I'm taking it in, and then I might sign up for something he does. And yet he doesn't know who I am. But people are consuming your content. People are consuming this right now. There's people watching this live across various vehicles, YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or various Facebook groups and so on. So your job really should be to put out whatever it is that you want to talk about. You should be putting it out there so that people can listen to whatever you want to talk about. You could be demonstrating expertise in whatever job you do. We cover all sorts of different things because I think it's important to cover motivation, lack of motivation. I enjoyed my COVID rant. Some people don't enjoy that. because I disagree with them. We talk about cryptocurrency, we talk about pensions for kids, we talk about business, we talk about websites, we talk about content, we talk about all sorts of different things, and we've got different things that will align to different people. Or you could just go down the path and talk about what your main thing happens to be. But we like to do all sorts of different things. We've got opinions on everything. It makes us very popular sometimes, and sometimes people hate us for it, and that's fine. It's not a problem. But you should be putting out more content in 2022. There's absolutely no question in my mind. Now, if you're already putting out content, you've got to find a way to solidify the content that you're putting out on a more regular basis. So if you're putting it out once a month, like, can you get it out once a week? And if you're doing once a week, can you do twice a week? Now, you know, when we first started this, and our podcast views, by the way, when we were podcasting every single day, and we might podcast every single day as well, but when we did used to do that, our podcast views were up here. Now we podcast once a week, once a month, like it's down here, right? And so the more you podcast, the more views that you're going to get. Obviously, it's like the more you advertise, the more people see your adverts. Duh. Not rocket science, is it? So if you want to go and do that, highly, highly recommend it. You might get 1 or 2 downloads to begin with. And people are like, oh, there's just no point. It's like you can't get more downloads until you do the recordings. And then through doing more recordings, then you get more downloads. I remember a conversation with someone saying, a YouTube channel, but there's, I've got a YouTube channel, but there's no point in having videos on it because I haven't got any subscribers. I'm like, you don't get subscribers until you do videos. You're putting the horse behind the cart, which is wrong. You've got to do videos and then you get subscribers. You've got to record the podcasts and then you get people downloading. How do you get people downloading a podcast that you haven't yet recorded? That's time travel. That doesn't exist. So you've got to start putting out more content. You've got to start putting out more images. So we do this in 2 ways, actually. We put out various pieces of content, which is like covering all sorts of different things, and that raises our profile. And then we call this pillars of content. We put out content on websites, another one content on content, right? Content on property investing. So these pillars, these columns are the specialisms, right? And then you've got this general content that goes out about cryptocurrency, about great time great thing that you did to help your kids, or the charity thing that you do, or whatever that happens to be. So this one that covers everything is more to cover everything, so that people actually like you, right? So that you then control the narrative of what people think about you. And then you have these pillars of content, these different pillars that talk about, come and book a strategy session for website design, book a strategy session for content, book a strategy session or buy some coaching product or some property product. So you've got this general content that goes out, and then you should have very specific pillars of content to do with your products and services. But you can't just put out about your products and services because people get fed up of that. You've got to put out a wide range of different stuff, and then you put out the specific stuff as well. And the wide range of stuff could be stuff like this. We've been going since 8:35. It's 9:13 now. So we've been going for 50 minutes? 40 minutes. And so people will dip in and dip out of these types of podcasts. But that's the type of content you've got to put out. We put out stuff about going horse riding, walking on the beach, because we want to demonstrate lifestyle to people. The lifestyle thing is what people kind of aspire to, and they, I get this. I get people saying, I want to live like you live. I want to live in Spain next to the beach and go paddle surfing on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. Can't do that now, by the way. It's freaking freezing out there. Although this morning was really warm, it's very windy here, and I think we've had a Saharan desert. I bet my car's full of yellow dust as the winds blow up from the Sahara. It happens quite a lot where we live for some reason. But people aspire to that, and so we want to demonstrate that that's what we've got, and then people want to be like us, and then they end up buying what we do, what we sell, right? Because that's just how it works. That's human psyche. So we have to demonstrate that's how it is. And as we go into 2022, by the way, I also want to demonstrate some of the challenges that we have more, so that people can actually see them and just kind of lift the lid. Because my life is not without its challenges. Good grief. I mean, I wish it was. But I think a life without challenges, by the way, is a life not lived anyway. We're all going to have challenges, and we should first of all attack them head on and deal with them. It makes us better people, and it grows us as a person. But also, should we be hiding them as much? And I think let's display some of these challenges so people can see us working our way through them, so that they get inspiration and motivation from that as well. But your goal, I think, for 2022 should be getting more visibility. You need to have more visibility than ever. My watch is telling me I should be sleeping right now. I don't know what that's about. But you should be visible to as many people as possible. You should be putting out your positive message. And if you want to talk about some of the challenges that you've had, people like that. People want... One of the things I get from people... we get messages all the time, by the way. We get emails, we get Facebook comments, and we get Facebook messages. Every week we get them, right? And one of the things that people say is they like the authenticity. And we want to be more authentic. Like, how can you be more authentic? You're either authentic or you're not. But we want to demonstrate some of the problems that we face. The $7,000 on bloody balconies, for example. That's ridiculous that we spent to replace to make them fireproof effectively on balconies. We've got 4 units in one particular development. It cost us $7,000. One unit, which costs 1,800 quid, I think it was. It's one of the biggest units there. Doesn't even have a wooden balcony, and I still had to pay 1,800 quid for it because it's just part of the lease. It's just based on square footage of the apartment. Whether you've got another unit, doesn't even have a balcony, cost me 700 quid. Literally no balcony, cost me 700 quid. And we should talk about that stuff more. I mean, partly it's funny, but also it's like annoying as well, paying 700 quid for a balcony I don't own. But like, I want to put more stuff out like that, and people love that level of authenticity because people, when we talk about property investing or growing your business, people only put out good stuff to have success in 2022. Do this. You see them on TikTok and Instagram and that kind of thing. It's like, it's total bullshit. Just do this. Five ways of having more money in 2022. Just do this. As if you just did those 5 things, life would be amazing. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And it's kind of annoying me right now, in case you can't tell. Anyway, look, I hope that lot is useful. I had a good old COVID rant there. I should do more of those. Anyway, I hope that's useful. Let me know, and we'll catch up with you guys in the next one. Have yourselves a good week. We'll speak to you soon. Take care.